pollen collecting on these cars, and I sure hope you have lots of this washer fluid. Now may be the time to talk to city leaders to get a helmet law here in the city of Richmond. You can see she only has on her blanket. She actually doesn't have any shoes on as well, just using plastic bags. This is a very sharp curve here. You can see how narrow the road is right here, and showed a gun that she had here on her waist. Then just 24 hours later on Tuesday, police say that same mother came up here and actually in her car blocked the bus from going anywhere from this bus stop. That mom got out and started screaming. Just completely uprooted on the side of the road here, went right towards the house. If I shake it, you can see it coming apart, and it's really easy to break. So this is what we're talking about. We're sitting out here now as this rain is pelting us in the face. Found their loved one dead behind the Hardys. Just down the street is a second crime scene, but firefighters saw this in the attic. It's called a gusset plate. In my hands here is just a small piece of the siding of this home. Of all the damage here, you can see behind me, this is where fire crews think the fire may have started here in this garage. 2 kids as well as a mother leave this apartment complex right here down these stairs. Just got word moments ago that no one was injured in this fire. These traffic lights on the side of the road are sometimes very difficult to see. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night and finding this in your bathroom, a boa constrictor, 4 feet long, just sitting there. It happened to one Richmond man last night, and how the snake got into that home is even more bizarre than you may think.
We get the hell from out there.
That was the reaction from Barrett Edwards when he was doing something he does every day, but ended up finding something he never expected. A snake. This snake, just steps away from him.
So he was right here on this heater thing, getting real warm.
While staring at the snake, Barrett's blood started to warm up too.
I turned around, I thought I was dreaming, I said, snake. Then I was hollering and hollering, I said, how in the hell am I gonna get out of here?
He ended up jumping over the snake and then called police.
It was long, real long. Long.
Really?
He was long. Then he was crawling all around here when the policeman came.
And here's where the story takes a crazy turn. This snake made its way into Barrett's home after his sister bought this chair from her neighbor and moved it into Barrett's home last Thursday.
We ended up getting the chair where the snake was in.
That neighbor tells us he'd been looking for the snake for about a week. At 3 this morning, the snake was found. Have you sat in this chair since Thursday?
My brother been sitting in that chair every day since he got that chair.
Didn't feel anything squirming around or anything?
Didn't feel anything. It was amazing.
The owners of this snake tell me that they're going to return the snake because they have a little baby in the house and they don't want anybody to get hurt. Reporting in Richmond, I'm Petriello for NBC 12 News. Well, Heather, I have the list here of all the stores affected in 20 different states, including the one here, the 9800 block of West Broad Street. Right now, I just found out that investigators are looking into how many customers here were affected, as well as exactly when this breach happened. But key is here, if you used a credit or debit card at this store recently, you want to check your statements right now. Many of us just swipe the plastic to pay these days without thinking twice, but now shoppers here at this Michael's in the West End are concerned. This after learning the card readers inside here were tampered with.
It kind of surprised me that's right here in our neighborhood.
Unfortunately, this is not the first time Nell's identity may have been stolen. It's actually the 5th time.
It's scary. I mean, people can go online and get any kind of information they want to get about you.
Joyce Lamont Beaushirt also shops at this Michael's, and her ID was stolen before as well.
It's frustrating because you work really hard to protect your identity.
Michael says about 90 of these card readers were tampered with in 20 different states. The company immediately got rid of the card readers in question and are now in the process of replacing thousands of the card readers nationwide. If you shop here, this is what you should do. First, check all your credit and debit card bills now. If you have an online account, go log into it. You should also change your passcodes on a regular basis and search online for an FTC credit check. You can get one free report each year. Joyce can tell you it'll likely take months to recover if you end up a victim.
That was going online and checking credit. That was getting on the phone to the 3 credit agencies. That was getting documentation.
And more to get back on track. Meanwhile, Nell has a plan when she leaves Michael's today.
I'm going to call my credit card company and the one that I usually use and get that changed.
Now, the best advice here is from Michaels is that if you feel like you have checked your statement and there may be a problem, give your credit card or debit card company a call directly. Meanwhile, though, many of the people I talked to out here today say they'll continue to shop here at this Michaels store in the West End. We're live in Henrico. I'm Petriello for NBC 12 News.
Sarah Pena moved into this home with her family about a year ago. She is now living in one of the newer homes in Richmond and may have a fire danger right above her head.
I'm concerned the house is going to fall on top of us.
She's worried after a major discovery in her attic by Richmond fire crews. Take a look. We're talking about these. They're called gusset plates. You can find these plates in 70 to 80% of newer homes in Richmond, Joni's home included.
I was surprised. I didn't know what you were talking about. Honestly, I thought everything was fine up there.
Fine in normal circumstances, but in a big fire, firefighters are worried homes will collapse faster.
You can see that it's pretty thin there on the side. That's probably the biggest concern that you have in terms of these melting quicker.
Right. You know, although it's relatively safely in place here, the fact of the matter is it's thin metal.
Possibly trapping you, your family, and firefighters too. In fact, dozens of firefighters nationwide have died because of this. But some contractors who build these beams say not so fast.
During a fire, a home has progressive failure of all its components because of the intense heat, and trusses are just one of those components.
Bottom line is, if you look in your attic tonight and you see something like this with these gusset plates, both sides agree that these plates are okay to have in your home. But now is the time to take some action. Sprinklers are one option.
Also, make sure your smoke detectors work and you have a fire escape plan, and ask your contractor questions. That's what Joni is doing right now.
Just remember, a home can be replaced, a life can't.
Crews continue to battle this house fire. You can see behind me here a lot of smoke still coming through the roof of this home. The roof is basically gone here. There were just moments ago a flare up here. Several flames started shooting up again through some of this house. Fire crews had to put some more water onto this fire, and they're continuing to monitor for any hot spots out here. I want to take you straight to some video that our news crew shot overnight. You can see massive flames shooting through the roof of this home. Fire crews say when they got here around 2 o'clock this morning, they saw a lot of those flames shooting through the roof. We're told that a woman here actually woke up herself to the fire. I talked to that homeowner. She told me that she woke up and she was drying some clothes, fell asleep, woke up, and that's when she saw her dryer on fire. Now, she tried to battle the fire herself, taking some pots and pans and throwing water on the fire. Did not work. There were 3 people inside, including a 10-year-old child. All 3 got out safely, but they had to bust through a window out of a bedroom to get out safely. Now, there was a major problem out here as well. This is in a non-hydrant area, meaning there's no fire hydrants nearby. So crews actually had to call in 3 tanker trucks to put out this fire. And that's why it took so long, an hour and 42 minutes to put this fire out. Again, let's come back out here live. You can see crews are still monitoring the situation. It's a very sad situation for the homeowner. She actually built this home back in the 1970s, and she's seen almost everything she owns just gone. She's actually walking behind me right now into our shot here. You can see she only has on her blanket. She actually doesn't have any shoes on as well, just using plastic bags around her feet. But again, the good news here is that all 3 people escaped, but crews tell me there were no working smoke detectors in this house. We'll continue to follow the story throughout the morning, and you will hear from that homeowner coming up at 6 o'clock. We're live in Chesterfield County. I'm Petriello for NBC 12. Police are still here inside this West End neighborhood, but just moments before our live shot, the police officers here took down the crime scene tape. This after a hostage situation took the life of 1 person shot in the stomach. At least 2 kids and a mother escaped this situation, and now police are waiting for the suspect to talk to them about what happened here this morning. Police with guns drawn outside this apartment building about an hour and a half after this all started. Our cameras caught this. At least 2 kids and a mother escaping down the stairs and into the arms of police officers.
Oh, I was so relieved. I saw that we were carrying one of the little girls, but the other one ran out, and the lady ran out.
Tanisha Edgehill lives right across the street from where this all unfolded. She captured some of it on her cell phone camera this morning.
I was scared to death at first because I'm not used to this, and waking up first thing in the morning seeing cop cars, guns drawn, everybody running across the street, terrifying. Absolutely terrifying.
13-year-old Diamond Allen also had a bird's eye view of the activity.
everybody was just like standing outside. I'm like, what's going on? And then they were like, somebody got shot. I was like, oh my God, is everybody okay? And I was just confused, like, what happened? was crazy.
Police say just around 7:30 this morning, one of the children inside this apartment called 911 saying a man with a gun was inside the second floor apartment. That suspect shot one man in the upper stomach. That victim eventually died. The suspect also held these two children, their mother, and the victim inside the apartment. Hostage negotiators worked to end the situation. Ends up the suspect was unconscious at one point, and that helped to end this tense situation.
It's absolutely terrifying. We're thinking about moving right now.
Well, Heather, police are now calling this a murder investigation, and they are actively looking for a person of interest that was last seen driving a black Toyota Camry. His name is Gregory Nelson Jr. Now, I want to show you the scene behind me. A woman, an adult woman, was found here in the Hardee's parking lot dead this morning by her family. Her family had called police saying that they did not know where their loved one was. A search ensued, and that's when the family found their loved one dead behind the Hardee's. Just down the street is a second crime scene at the Meineke Car Care Place, and that is where a vehicle was found that police now say was involved in the crime. They're not exactly sure at this point, though, anymore whose vehicle that is, but there is blood on that vehicle, and that vehicle is involved in the crime. We're going to continue to follow this story as it develops. I just want to let you know, if you're on the lookout for a black Toyota Camry, license plate Virginia XSH 4405. We're working to get a picture of the person of interest, Gregory Nelson Jr. Back to the studio.